Good evening, welcome to the Haldeman County Caledonia. Tonight, Game 3 of the Sutherland Cup Semi-Final between the Midwestern Division Cherry Cup champion Waterloo Siskins and the Golden Horseshoe Conference champion Caledonia Corvairs. The Caledonia Corvairs lead the best-of-7 series 2-0. Good evening, welcome to the Haldeman County Caledonia Center in Caledonia, Ontario. I'm your host, John Molson, as we take time to pause for our national anthem. On the road Thursday night at the Waterloo Rec Complex, the two teams, the Siskins and Corvairs, playing a fairly even game. However, it was the Corvairs who were able to come up with their second consecutive victory, a 4-0 win following the 4-1 win in game number 1. The Corvairs outshot the Siskins 35-34 through 60 minutes. The key goals in the game came in the first period. Spencer Gourlay scoring on his own rebound. We'll recap game number 2 when we can. The first period of play underway as Murphy slides the puck down the far board, and Matthew Ma clearing the puck out of play on the near side just 6 seconds into the first period. Spencer Gourlay over the left side of the Waterloo blue line on Thursday night. He put in his own rebound at the near side past a diving Leo Lazarev. The Siskins win the draw on the long shot by Rizkowski, gloved down by Colin Furlong. Furlong, the MVP through the Golden Horseshoe Conference Final Series. A 4-1 series victory over the St. Catharines Falcons as Cody Brown wins the draw in his own zone from the left circle with a backhander to Kyler Nixon. Gourlay through the neutral zone, ahead on the left side for Cody Brown, and Matt Martin skates it out the far side, dodging a body check by Peacock. He slides it into the Caledonia end. Nixon over his own blue line past center and dumps a long shot to the far side of the net, 3 inches wide of the post. Taylor around Nixon. Nixon back on the back check, and now Taylor gets a right shoulder into the face of Abraham, and Nixon plays the puck down the far half wall for Jordan Peacock. He takes the puck, banks it out the length of the ice past Matt Martin, and Lazarev out to play the puck, but he leaves it for the defender, Nick Hurst. Malott plays it around the boards. No one there initially for the Corvairs before Patton moves up to play the puck. Action on the near sideboard now. Malott looking for a centering pass. Instead goes behind the net for Connor Murphy. And the shot by Patton wide of the net, and it's taken by Waterloo over the left side of the blue line. And the Siskins go off on a change. Patton from center ice, the one bounce shot hitting the top of the pads of Lazarev, and the disc moving into the corner. Mitch Brown, the backhand pass to the left side of the point. Moran moves up to play it back into the near corner. Matt Sheik for Waterloo plays it around the far side, and DeFrias plays it back to center ice. It's backhanded in by Waterloo. Mitch Atkins goes to the corner on the near side against 3 Corvairs, and Todd Ratchford taking it away. The pass too far ahead for Briar Jonathan, and Lazarev covering up at the top of his crease. Jeff Malott scoring the second Caledonia goal in Waterloo on Thursday night. Malott scoring on a 3-way passing play off a turnover in the neutral zone, as Mitch Green about set to take the draw from the right circle. He goes down low, but Luke Gazzola wins the draw, gets it back, and plays it down the far side. Ratchford, the pass inside the Waterloo blue line, picked off by Matthew Ma, and Ma losing it at the far corner to Peacock, who fires a low shot. Lazarev may have got a piece of that on the far side. Ratchford to Green, down further to the end line to Peacock, and he loses it to Gazzola, who comes out from the near side of his net, plays the puck down the right side before the whistle goes. 3 minutes and 6 seconds into game number 3 of the Sutherland Cup Semi-Final, and the first penalty of the game coming up here to Eric Cimino of the Siskins. Connor Murphy to take the draw from the left circle Waterloo zone. Lazarev cutting the angle on the near side off the faceoff. The back pass by Murphy back to Blunt. Blunt fires a shot kicked aside by Lazarev, and the Corvairs moving the puck around the outside of the blue line. Blunt top of the line to Nixon. Nixon to Murphy. Into the slot, Murphy underneath the right circle falls down, and an attempted clearing pass by Nick Hurst. Cimino for interference. He'll be in the box for another minute and 27 seconds. Patton the shot low to the ice, and a big save by Leo Lazarev at the near corner. The Siskins out shooting, or the Siskins being outshot by the Corvairs in both games 1 and 2. The Corvairs registering 49 shots in game 1, 35 on the Thursday night game, the first game in Waterloo. Lazarev very sharp in both games. Both Furlong and Lazarev outstanding through periods 2 and 3 Thursday night. The dive by Jake Brown to the right side to Nixon. Nixon gets it back, fires a shot. Blunt picks up the rebound, and Blunt trying to slide a shot in the near side, and the puck bouncing out of play in behind the Waterloo net. So the Corvairs winning 4-0 on Thursday night in game 2 for the 2-0 lead. However, the last 2 goals for Caledonia were empty net goals. Cody Brown and Cosimo Fontana scoring empty netters at the 17:37 and 18:42 marks of the third period. La Jeunesse wins the draw with a backhand pass, goes to Danny Hanlon on the left wing. He clears it in, and Kyler Nixon brings it out for the Corvairs. Blunt wraps it around the boards. Peacock on his backhand side moves in behind the Waterloo net, plays it to Gourlay. Gourlay, side of the left circle, looks for a centering pass, finds Jake Brown over to Blunt. Gourlay over top the left circle, back to Blunt and across to Nixon. Cross ice feed, the shot by Gourlay, hit Jake Brown in the back, he picks it up. Brown plays it to Nixon, the shot. Blunt over to Nixon, and Nixon looking for one last shot as the penalty to Waterloo about to expire. The shot by Nixon partially blocked by Hanlon. Peacock looking for one last play, and Chimino out of the box for the Siskins, and the two teams back to 5-on-5 hockey. Nixon speeding across the defender, he shoots and scores! Kyler Nixon off the far side, firing a wrist shot to the near corner. Nixon over the right side of the blue line, found a lot of space between the neutral zone and the half wall on the far wall, Waterloo zone, and Nixon used that space to move himself around the Waterloo defender and fire home a wrist shot. Nixon unassisted at 5:23 as Mitch Brown plays a pass back to the blue line. The second opportunity comes to Fontana. Gazzola pins Mitch Brown against the boards, and DeFrias from center sends a bouncing puck off the near board Caledonia zone. DeFrias, a near turnover, had his head up, couldn't find a pass, and almost turned it over to Fontana. Hurst and Jonathan come together at the near side. Jonathan backhands it to Forsland. And Bodner and Abraham now on the far side as Abraham moves off the right-hand side of the blue line. And it's cleared down the ice by Bodner, and the Siskins make a full change. Abraham to Jake Brown, and the bouncing semi-shot gloved down by Lazarev. Jake Brown all the way at the top of the Waterloo blue line, and by the time he got a shot away, it was a weak one to the far corner, easily covered up by Lazarev. So Nixon unassisted at 5:23. The Corvairs with the 1-0 lead after winning games 1 and 2, 4-1 and 4-0. Chimino at the blue line, Taylor looking for a deflection. Ryan Taylor right in the slot looking for the deflection at the near corner, and this time Mitch Green taking it the other way, passes to Dorian off to his left. Dorian tries to give it back to him, and Waterloo picks up the puck and clears back to center before Todd Ratchford fires a long shot. Lazarev getting a piece on the far corner of his net. Murphy and Ma deep inside the Caledonia zone. Murphy plays it up the half wall. Moran back to center. And Murphy this time takes it at the far side, one step inside the right side of the blue line. Murphy gets it back on the pass back from Malott, and Patton's side of the net with an opportunity off the left point pass by Kyler Nixon. The long shot by Blunt, and Malott this time parked directly in front of Lazarev, angled off to the right side. So first Patton with a shot on the near side, then Malott, and the Corvairs starting to take advantage in the shots on goal category. 7 minutes and 59 seconds into period number 1. Game 4 back in Waterloo tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. And a game 5 back here if necessary Wednesday night, 8 o'clock here at the HCCC. Nixon playing it to Murphy. Murphy tied up by Hurst. And Hanlon and Patton come together at the far half wall. Patton digging it out. And Hurst this time playing it to Ruskowski. And Ruskowski's pass too far for Danny Hanlon, standing at the left side of the Caledonia blue line. The pass 2 inches ahead of Hanlon on the forehand. Cody Brown from the right circle. Opposite Evan Bueller. Bueller wins the draw, slides it back to Hurst. And Abraham now from center as Forsland knocks Hanlon over. It's played around the boards by Justin Abraham. 2 players aside, Bueller, Peacock, Cody Brown. And the player going off at the Waterloo bench, Matt Martin. 2 players down deep in the far corner, or the near side rather, Waterloo zone. And now the first penalty of the game coming to the Corvairs as Jordan Peacock to the box for 2 minutes with 11:01 remaining in the first period. Abraham slaps it around the far board. Hurst moves off the blue line to play it, and Forsland banks it off the wall and plays it out the near side. The Corvairs jamming away at it. Brubaker keeping it onside at the right side of the blue line. And Mitch Brown able to intercept and slide it down the near side. 1:31 to go in the penalty to Jordan Peacock. Taylor, the short pass over the right side for Brubaker. Ruskowski picks it up, and the shot hitting the outside of the far post. Evan Bueller parked on the far side. Not sure if Ruskowski gets credit for that shot to the post or Bueller, but the Corvairs able to clear. Blunt playing it down the ice. That shot off the outside of the post, of course, not registering as a shot on goal, but a good opportunity for the Siskins there to tie the game up with 40 seconds remaining in the penalty to Jordan Peacock. Cimino, right side of the line. The shot this time hitting the outside of the net on the near side. This time Evan Bueller on the opposite side. The earlier shot off the outside of the post, far corner, and this time Bueller on the near side. The puck hitting the bottom of the net on the near side to the outside of the netting. And now Forsland to the box for the Corvairs, so the Caledonia Corvairs will be 2 men short for 27 seconds. Cimino, far side, the back pass to Hanlon. Taylor inside the left circle, off to the left-hand side of the dot, slid a pass to Danny Hanlon. Cimino down low to Ruskowski. Cimino gets it back, and his shot, Bueller in front, but Cody Brown able to clear. And the Corvairs now get 1 man back on the ice. The penalty to Peacock now expired, and Forsland in the sin bin for another minute and 14 seconds. Murphy going one-on-one with Cimino, and Cimino kicks it away from him with the left skate. Taylor to Kearns, and Evan Kearns offside on the pass off the right wing by Ryan Taylor. 8:28 to go, first period of play. Game number 3, Sutherland Cup Semi-Final. An ARC Pro presentation. Please see our home games on YouTube. The two teams back at it tomorrow afternoon, 1:30 p.m. at the Waterloo Rec Complex. Mitch Adkins losing it to Connor Patton, and Murphy around the far side beside the right circle, eventually losing the puck to Mitch Adkins. Adkins gives it to Brubaker. The attempted slide back to Adkins. Hurst plays it back to Adkins. Hurst now on the far side board, plays it to Brubaker, and the pass back to Brubaker hops over his stick at the top of the blue line. Hurst, the pass too far for everyone on the ice. Gourlay, the closest to it for the Corvairs, off his own side of center, and the play going for icing at the near side Caledonia zone, so they'll move the face-off back to the right-hand glove side of Leo Lazarev. Brown wins the draw back to Gourlay, and Gourlay's shot partially blocked by Cimino. Adkins underneath Ryan Blunt deep in the Caledonia zone. Blunt, Nixon, Kearns, and Mitch Adkins. Adkins slides a pass to Gazzola, and Gazzola looking for a hard shot beside the left circle. Cody Brown brings it in down the near side for the Corvairs. Ratchford winds up, and a huge right pad save by Leo Lazarev. The Corvairs with the better of the scoring opportunities through this first period, but the Siskins with good chances on both sides of the net, hitting the outside of the post a couple minutes ago, following up with a shot on the near side. Evan Bueller in on both of those plays. Mitch Brown slides it down the left half wall inside the Waterloo zone. And the pass ringing around the boards, Connor Bodner picking it up, playing it to center, and the Corvairs force a turnover and throw it in down the near side. Ma plays it to Cimino. The pass to the blue line to Bueller, and the pass broken up by Forsland. Ma 2 steps inside his own line, shakes off Mitch Brown, ahead to the right side, and the long pass by Bueller out to the far corner. Ruskowski trying to turn around. He's tripped up in the corner. Ruskowski losing his footing on the far side, and Jamie Forsland going to the box for the Corvairs for tripping with 5:40 to go, first period of play. The only goal in the first at the 5:23 mark by Kyler Nixon. Nixon creating space through the neutral zone on the far side, and then firing a wrist shot from the right side board into the near corner past Lazarev. Cimino winds up down to the near side, plays it for Ruskowski, and now the Corvairs are going to move 2 men short as Ryan Blunt going to the box. 2 minutes for high sticking, so the Siskins will go to the 2-man advantage for 1 minute and 43 seconds. Ruskowski and Mitch Green taking the draw. Green wins it, plays it to Nixon, and Nixon rings it the length of the ice from the near corner of the Caledonia zone. The Corvairs with a nice clear out there before Cimino brings it right back in for the Siskins. Hanlon with it now to the corner. Taylor the back pass to Hanlon. And Taylor back to the right side of the blue line. Cimino missing the pass, and he has to go back into the neutral zone to pick it up. Cimino to the near side to Ruskowski. The centering pass for Bueller. Ruskowski with it once again, and he looks for Taylor back door. Taylor getting 75% of it. Hanlon with an attempted shot. Nixon gets a piece of that. Cimino, the pass to the side of the net, and they score. The shot by Danny Hanlon inside the right circle. And it was deflected in front and went just inside the post on the far side. Danny Hanlon apparently getting credit for the goal, so it must have touched a Caledonia defender on the way through. The shot by Hanlon to the near side, hitting a Caledonia player in front and moving in along the ice off the far corner. Hanlon from Taylor. So at the 15:39 mark on the power play, Danny Hanlon tying it for the Siskins, and Blunt still in the box for another 30 seconds, on the high stick. So the Siskins at the tail end of the power play now with an opportunity to take the lead in game number 3. But Moran picks it up, fires it down the ice, and Lazarev plays a pass down the far wall, hitting Atkins through the neutral zone. Brubaker the shot, and they score. The quick comeback play. Brubaker to the far side to Lajeunesse, and Lajeunesse backdoor fires a wrist shot. Furlong no chance on the play with 3:26 remaining, and the Waterloo Siskins have their second lead of the series. The Siskins with the short-lived lead through game 1, getting the 1-0 lead before the Corvairs got the final 4 goals in game number 1. So after 4-1 and 4-0 victories by the Corvairs, the Siskins take just their second lead of the series. The save by Lajeunesse from Brubaker with 3:29 remaining in the first, and the Siskins now with the lead. A positive sign for the Siskins heading back to the Waterloo Rec Complex for tomorrow afternoon's game at 1:30. The Siskins playing an even game, keeping up with the Corvairs on Thursday night. The Corvairs with the 2 first period goals, but the Siskins playing even the rest of the way. And the Siskins pulling Lazarev very early in the 3rd period, or very early regarding the back end of the 3rd period. They pulled Lazarev with over 2:30 to go. And those other 2 goals by the Corvairs simply empty net goals as Gourlay falls over in the high slot. And Abraham the long shot, and it's tipped off to the corner by the right shoulder of Leo Lazarev. Lazarev, of course, the GOJHL Rookie of the Year, the Ottawa 67's first-round draft pick. Under 2 minutes to go, the ARC Pro presentation of game number 3 of the Sutherland Cup Semi-Final. The Corvairs with a 2-0 series lead following 4-1 and 4-0 victories. The Corvairs with the lead here tonight at the 5:23 mark, the goal by Kyler Nixon, but the Siskins replying with 2 power play goals, Danny Hanlon and Troy Lajeunesse. Hanlon at the 15:39 mark to tie the game on the power play from Ryan Taylor. And Lajeunesse from Brubaker, the pass from the left-hand side below Connor Murphy spins around Martin. Martin now chasing after him, and Murphy still with the puck. Murphy twisting and turning. Martin tries to turn his back to the play, and now Malott and Sheik fall over top of one another. Patton slides a pass down through the slot, easily sticked away on the right side of Lazarev. Under a minute to play now. Hurst to Bueller. Hanlon winds up and fires a hard wrist shot to the far outside post. Furlong getting the right glove across to make the save. The Siskins getting the Lajeunesse goal. The pass by Brubaker finding Lajeunesse back door. The Corvairs had it deep on the near side, but the Siskins immediately brought the puck back on a long pass. Then Brubaker found Lajeunesse at the far corner, and the Siskins fans up in applause as they take their second lead of the series as the buzzer goes. And at the first intermission, with the Caledonia Corvairs leading the Sutherland Cup Semi-Final Series by a series lead of 2-0, it's the Waterloo Siskins on top at the intermission on the strength of 2 power play goals by Troy Lajeunesse and Danny Hanlon. And the Siskins come from behind after Nixon scores at the 5:23 mark at the first intermission of game number 3 of the Sutherland Cup Semi-Final. It's the Waterloo Siskins 2 and the Caledonia Corvairs 1. The Corvairs out of the dressing room first to start the second period. The Waterloo Siskins now out to a series of applause from their fans sitting directly behind the Waterloo bench. On the out-of-town scoreboard, it's the Leamington Flyers with a 1-0 lead over the St. Catharines Falcons. The Flyers trying to tie their series following a 3-2 defeat on Thursday night. Siskins winning the draw. Martin plays it to the far side, broken up by Blunt. He sends it back to the Waterloo blue line, and Nixon now plays it back across to Blunt. Pass down the far side. Patton, the backhander, around the Waterloo forward Connor Bodner. Blunt back for Nixon. And ahead on the near side beside the Caledonia bench for Malott. And Hurst plays a bouncing pass out of the zone, and it's picked up by Forsland before it can reach Colin Furlong. Martin out the far side to the half wall to Peacock. He's pinned there with his back up against the wall by Ruskowski. And Ruskowski throws it around the near side board, and it's cleared out by Abraham back deep inside his own zone to Forsland. Gourlay tries to move it up the far side. Hanlon picks it up for the Siskins. It's chopped out by Cody Brown, and Ma plays it down the near board back to center ice. And offside beside the Caledonia bench. 1 minute and 34 seconds into period number 2. The Waterloo Siskins on top 2-1, their second lead of the Sutherland Cup Semi-Final. They had a brief lead in game number 1 before the Corvairs responded with 4 consecutive goals. Chimino to the far wall, up the half wall to Mitch Adkins. And Adkins on the 2-on-2 with Thomas Carey to his left-hand side. Carey charges the net and tries to poke it in on the far corner. And Furlong able to slide across and make the save along the ice. Carey and Mitch Brown. Brown goes down to both knees to win the face-off. And Ratchford plays it around the near side back to center ice. And the forehand pass down the left wing, no one there for the Corvairs. Chimino playing it around the near side board. Ma over to the far side to Chimino. Chimino regrouping, plays it to the Corvairs side of center, and Adkins plays it in behind the Caledonia net for Thomas Carey. And the whistle going with Troy Lajeunesse, the last to touch it for Waterloo. Lajeunesse with the go-ahead goal. With 3:29 remaining in the first, Lajeunesse taking the draw at the far side. They'll redo the draw as Mitch Green and Lajeunesse take it. Lajeunesse wins it, drops it inside his own line, and Brubaker plays it down the right wing, too far for Evan Kearns. So a second consecutive face-off, seconds apart. 3 minutes and 40 seconds, or 2 minutes and 40 seconds into period number 2, rather. The Waterloo Siskins trying to cut their series deficit back to 2-1 and return to the rec center tomorrow afternoon with a chance to tie the series. Nixon in behind his own net, plays a pass down the left wing for Cody Brown. Brown gets it back off the pass from Peacock, the quick pass, the return feed from Peacock, and Brown's side of the net fires it to the far side. Lazarev once again with a big save. The Corvairs doubling up the Siskins in the shots on goal category through one period, 16-8. But it's the Siskins doubling up the Corvairs on the scoreboard with the narrow 2-1 lead with 16:34 remaining in the second period. Peacock over center. Martin behind the net, rings it around the half wall for Danny Hanlon. The pass to Bueller across the right wing for Ruskowski. Ruskowski finds room, a big save Ruskowski finding himself wide open in the slot, and Furlong with a big save closing both pads. And Peacock getting a stick up in the face over at the far side, and Nick Hurst is going to go to the box, so the Corvairs will go to their first power play of period number 2. The Corvairs with no power play goals in the series so far, as Nixon winds up, fires a shot off the right pad of Lazarev. Waterloo perfect on the power play. Mind you, tonight's stats a little bit misconstrued. The playoff stats as Patton firing a shot to the near side, partially blocked back to Malott, and Patton gets hands to the face at the near side, and Malott having words with Kearns. He returns to the conversation off to the near side of the net. Malott still talking with his, as he skates to the Caledonia bench, turning around behind him, or turning his head rather, still to discuss the situation with Kearns, as Lajeunesse wins the draw, but he can't get it past the right side of the blue line. Kyler Nixon keeping it in. Lajeunesse winds up going one-on-one with Nixon. And now Lajeunesse, after a quick shot to the midsection of Furlong, takes the opportunity to penalty kill on the far side. Peacock to Gourlay to Brown. Peacock to the backhand. Peacock goes to the wraparound. He's knocked over by Matt Martin. And now Caledonia fans off to the right of our broadcast location calling for another Waterloo penalty with 48 seconds remaining in the penalty to Nick Hurst. As I was saying earlier, the stats a little bit different. The GOJHL stats and the Sutherland Cup Semi-Final stats being kept separately. Nixon to Brown, and Brown fires a shot that hits Ma and moves off to the far side, and it's cleared down the ice the full length from the end line by Matt Martin. The Sutherland Cup playoff stats showing the 14 games played for the Corvairs and the 18 games played for the Siskins. But when you look at the stats for the semifinals, the stats only listing the first 2 games of this series. Brubaker playing it to the far half wall. Patton moves 2 steps inside the left side of the line to play the puck deeper before it's played up and out by Cimino down the far wall. An icing call with 13:45 to go in game number 3, the Sutherland Cup semi-final presented by ARC Pro HD. The Corvairs with a 2-0 series lead. The Siskins winning the draw back to Cimino, and both teams now back to full strength. The Siskins killing off their penalty, and the long pass offside at the left side of the Caledonia blue line. So those stats differing, as I mentioned earlier, the GOJHL playoff stats and the Sutherland Cup semi-final stats. All the more reason to check out www.gojhl.ca for all your up-to-date scores and information regarding the Sutherland Cup semi-final. You'll find more information as well on the Leamington Flyers St. Catharines Falcons series. That series being played tonight. The Falcons trying to tie up the series on their home rink, the Jack Gatecliff Arena. Or excuse me, the Falcons winning game number 1 by a score of 3-2. And Lazarev making the nice save on the far side. The Falcons scoring 2 second period goals in game 1, Brendan Feasy and Tyler Jackson. And then the Falcons getting the game winner off the stick of Tommy Barks on the assist by Ryan Doucette at the 46-second mark of the 3rd period. DeFrias chased by Green, so he comes out the near side as Green moves off the forecheck. Dorian plays it up and out down the far wall, and DeFrias backhands it back to the blue line. The pass too far for Bueller or Ruskowski, so Forsland makes the recovery behind his own net. The pass to Abraham. Abraham cross ice to Dorian. Dorian with speed. A shot at the near corner, or the far side rather. And Lazarev keeping his right pad on the post to make the save. Hanlon playing it out as the Waterloo fans calling for a penalty. Forsland getting a right elbow up on the far side. Nixon to Blunt. And Blunt through center to the far side. Gourlay at the left side of the Waterloo blue line. Carries it in deep in behind the net, and now he's on the near corner at the half wall. Peacock and Brubaker jamming away at it. Brubaker comes up with it, plays it down the right wing for Mitch Adkins. And in behind the net is Thomas Carey. Sheik out front, and Furlong sprawling every which way, and somehow Colin Furlong able to keep the possibility of the Waterloo 3rd goal out of the net. Mitch Adkins behind the Waterloo player with the initial chance. Thomas Carey at the top of the crease, and then Adkins in behind him, and Furlong having to make a huge save to keep out the 3rd Waterloo goal. Chimino, the pass behind the back of Taylor. Radford plays it back up the ice. Malott trying to find some speed to the far wall. Patton in the slot along the ice. Malott there, but it's taken away by Kearns. Patton, a glorious opportunity to tie the game. Chimino, Murphy on the back check, forces a turnover. Murphy, the backhand shot, and the high rising backhander off the stick of Connor Murphy off the left shoulder of Lazarev. Moran down the board to Brown. Lazarev out to play it, plays it off the glass down the near side. Fontana and Gazzola. Forsland tries to turn Gazzola around with a big hit and a bad angle shot from the near corner by Connor Bodner. And Furlong making the save on the far side. Bodner in no position to find a goal from there, but it nearly ended up in nonetheless on the far side. Forsland wraps it around the far side board. Brown tips it to the near corner. It's intercepted, but Forsland landing on the back of Bodner to take it away. Mitch Brown trying to play it out the far side. Bodner from the half wall. Abraham and Bodner behind the Caledonia net. Martin able to keep it in on the left side, and the shot by Jared Parker. Forsland with another big hit on Parker. Parker this time picks it up in the neutral zone. Jonathan on the takeaway from behind, and the Corvairs get 2 shots on Lazarev as a result of the turnover from the neutral zone, and a shot by Ruskowski from far out off the right side. Ruskowski between the top of the right circle and the top, or from the right side of the blue line rather. Ruskowski in between those 2 spots getting the shot. Furlong making the save with the left glove, and Ruskowski staying in the face-off circle on the right side to take the draw. Blunt playing it to Nixon, the whistle going with 8:04 to go. Nixon registering a lone assist through the first 2 games coming into tonight. Nixon with the only goal for the Corvairs at the 5:23 mark of the first period. So Nixon now registering a goal and an assist. DeFrias goes back to play it, centering pass. Gourlay rips a hard wrist shot. Gourlay, the delay, moving across to the right side out of the slot, looking for room. Here's a shot by Hanlon, and somehow Furlong kept that out, deflecting off something in net, or on the way to the net. Hanlon the shot, and it hit something, redirected to the near side, and how that stayed out, I do not know. Ruskowski with the drag inside the right circle, and he's hit by Radford. Peacock over the left side, and Peacock with a shot, and it's gloved down by Lazarev with exactly 7 minutes to go in the second period. The Corvairs holding the shots on goal lead, but the Siskins on top where it counts on the scoreboard. The Siskins with the 2-1 lead. Goals by Danny Hanlon and Troy Lajeunesse. Furlong out to play it. Brown to Green. Green on the 2-on-1 now, and Ma breaking it up at the last second. Ma using the top of the blade on the forehand with an excellent deflection up and out of play just off to the far side over top the glass. Ma with an excellent play as the Corvairs moving down on the 2-on-1 down the right wing. Green and Thomas Carey on the draw. Green now leaving the draw to move to the right wing. Cody Brown wins it with a backhand. Shot by Forsland. Dorian looking to pick up the rebound at the far side. Abraham inside the line, banks it off the board center ice. Ma escapes a check beside the Caledonia bench. And Forsland up the far side to Cody Brown. Cimino wraps it around the boards. Abraham, the high shot, it hits Sheik on the left shoulder. Green side of the net. Dorian with an opportunity, and Green with an opportunity to tip it in on the near side. Ma missing the puck, and Malott now in behind the Waterloo net, looking for Murphy or Cody Brown on the far side. Cimino and Brown taking each other out on the far side. Brown a slight spear on the Waterloo player. Cimino pops right back up. Brown fortunate to not draw a penalty there. Lajeunesse and Murphy on the draw from the left circle Waterloo zone. And Hurst and Murphy come together on the in behind the Waterloo net, angled just off to the far side. Taylor, the cross ice feed, and Nick Hurst wide open, couldn't receive the pass. Perhaps had his head up a little bit too soon. Hurst looking for a shot to the far side. Taylor with a shot this time from the left side of the blue line, and Furlong hanging on. Hurst appeared to have his head up before the pass reached his stick. Lajeunesse and Mitch Brown taking the draw off to the right glove side of Colin Furlong. Furlong, of course, winning the MVP award courtesy of the 4-1 series victory over the St. Catharines Falcons. Fontana to center, inside 5 minutes to go, second period of play. And Kearns to Nick Hurst. Hurst over the right wing, and the shot hits the stick of Kyler Nixon and goes out of play. Gazzola to take the draw. Luke Gazzola yet to register a point through 2 semi-final games, and Brubaker turns around. Nixon wraps it up the near sideboard. Gazzola the shot from long distance left side. Nixon past the end line far side. And he can't find a pass to his teammate Blunt, and Gazzola now trying to force a turnover far side. Brubaker, in fact, moves up across the right side of the blue line to indeed create that turnover, but the whistle going, 4:07 to play. Tonight's presentation of game number 3 of the the Sutherland Cup semi-final between the Cherry Cup champion Siskins and the Golden Horseshoe Conference champion Corvairs. The Corvairs in the 2-0 series lead, and the Siskins on top on the scoreboard tonight, trying to cut their series lead. Ma back to center. Ryskowski slaps it off the stick of Moran, and Ryskowski tries to find Ma on the back pass. Bueller to the left side. Ryskowski tries to find Hanlon on the near corner. Hanlon streaking to the net, but the pass going in behind the Caledonia net. Ma fires it off the glass. Gourlay tries to glove it down with the right hand, but Spencer Gourlay is judged to be offside on the play. Gourlay shaking his head no. And the face-off moving outside the Waterloo line. The Siskins finishing 34-12-3 during regular season play. The Corvairs, of course, tops in the league, 45-3-1. The Siskins as a little bit of an underdog. Well, the Dutchmen lost to the Stratford Culletons, a team that the Siskins met in the Cherry Cup final. And the shot by Blunt from far out, covered up along the ice. Lazarev, the nice save at the near side at the top of his paint. The Siskins defeating the Stratford Culletons 4-2 in the Cherry Cup final to win their first conference title in 20 years. Waterloo winning the first round 4-1 over the Guelph Hurricanes, squeaking out a 4-3 series victory over the Elmira Sugar Kings, winning the final game 3-1. And as a result of the top-seeded Dutchmen in the Midwestern Conference dropping their series to the Culletons, the Siskins were able to play the Culletons through that final series. And after the two final goals by Troy Lajeunesse in game number 6, as mentioned, they were able to claim their first conference championship in 20 years. The Dutchmen tying the league lead this year for most consecutive victories. The Corvairs were very close to that mark as well. The Dutchmen tying the 85-86 Stratford Culletons, and the Corvairs with a very impressive 24-game win streak of their own. In the slot, DeFrias to the far side, Euler with a shot, and 3 Siskins wide open on that series off the Caledonia turnover. Furlong with a big save off the left shoulder. Ryskowski going to the box. And the Corvairs to the power play with 1:54 to go. The Siskins creating all kinds of space on that shift. And as a result, a Caledonia player must have been knocked down off to the far side. And the Siskins now paying the price as the Corvairs go to the power play. Brown top of the rebound and the score! Spencer Gourlay tying the game up at 2. Kyler Nixon along the ice from the top of the blue line, hammering a hard shot along the ice. And then Gourlay picking up the rebound on the right-hand side and rifling a wrist shot to the far corner. And the Corvairs tie it up at 2 on the power play goal by Spencer Gourlay with 1:41 remaining in the second. Gourlay from Nixon with 1:41 left. DeFrias the shot, and the high shot gloved down. At 18-19, the Corvairs tie it up. Furlong seconds ago making a save with the right glove. So the Corvairs now with the only goal of the second period. The power play marker by Gourlay. Nixon the shot from the top of the blue line. And Gourlay depositing a wrist shot into the far corner to tie it up. The Corvairs with the shots on goal advantage in the first, and we're now under a minute to play in the second. Twisting and turning on the far wall is Lajeunesse, so he drops a back pass to Taylor. Lajeunesse checked by Brown. Brown touching Lajeunesse underneath the right arm, and Lajeunesse knocked down. No call on the play. Brown not hitting him all that hard, and the referees probably realizing that that slight tap under the arm, not a call to be penalized. Brown and Gazzola, both men falling down. And the whistle going. Abraham and the Waterloo player on the far side, Bodner, having a discussion about it, and Brown to the box. Brown wrestling the much bigger Waterloo forward to the ice. Both men appeared to go down at the same time, but Brown a little bit in behind the Waterloo forward. Brown the one going off to the box. Cimino to Hanlon, Hanlon to Taylor, and Taylor fires a shot high over the net and off the glass. As the buzzer goes, it was Spencer Gourlay tying the game on a power play marker from Kyler Nixon at the 18-19 mark of the second. The Siskins with a 2-1 lead at the end of one. Gourlay the only goal in the second to tie it. And at the end of 2 periods of play, with the Caledonia Corvairs in a 2-0 series lead in the Sutherland Cup Semi-Final, it's the Caledonia Corvairs and the Waterloo Siskins all tied up at 2. Spencer Gourlay with the only second period goal as the Corvairs tie things up on a power play goal at the 18-19 mark. Kyler Nixon the assist from the top of the blue line. Gourlay firing home the wrister from inside the right circle to the near side. The Corvairs looking to take a 3-0 lead in the Sutherland Cup semi-final as the two teams go back to Waterloo for a tomorrow afternoon contest at 1:30. Green winning the draw, but it finds its way to the stick of Taylor. Taylor plays it to the near side to Cimino, Cimino to Hanlon, and Mitch Brown for the infraction at the end of the second, and the shot by Taylor going over top the glass out the far side off to the right hand side of the Caledonia net. Green and Ruskowski on the draw. Green eventually sliding it back to Blunt, and Blunt clearing the zone with 1:20 to go on the penalty to Mitch Brown. The Siskins looking to find their third lead of the series here on this power play, trying to cut the series lead to 2-1, and the shot side of the net. Cimino goes underneath the left circle, finds Taylor, and Furlong with the save 51 seconds into the third. A big boost for Waterloo if they can win here on the road tonight in game number 3. And on the flip side of that, if the Corvairs can pull out a victory after being behind 2-1, a big boost for the Corvairs and a one giant hole for the Siskins if they are unable to get a victory here tonight. Taylor to Hanlon, over to Chimino. Chimino in the corner for Ruskowski, into the slot, and the shot fired wide by Danny Hanlon. The hard wrist shot just wide to the far side. And now Danny Hanlon with some good two-way play to get back defensively in his own zone. Cody Brown eventually able to knock him over, but that play on the far side is going to result in a hook on Cody Brown. And Brown to the box with 18-19 remaining third period. Tonight's presentation of game number 3 of the Sutherland Cup Semi-Final brought to you by ARC Pro HD. Be sure to stop by YouTube tomorrow morning and check out the footage of tonight's game. All Caledonia home games, both regular season and playoffs from the last 2 seasons. Of course, ARC Pro involved with Corvair hockey back when the Corvairs played in Brantford, but for all Caledonia home games, you can see them online on YouTube. Brubaker around the near side, plays it down the near half wall. And Brubaker, the second opportunity for a long pass to Mitch Adkins, and it's deflected out of play off the front of the stick of Justin Abraham and out the far side. The Leamington Flyers with a 2-0 lead on the St. Catharines Falcons, trying to tie their series up at 1. And we will try to get you the result of that game before we go off the air. Both the game in St. Catharines and the game here tonight at approximately the same point in the game, both the start times the same. Ruskowski for Taylor on the wrapped around the boards pass. Ruskowski near corner now. Hanlon fires a wrist shot off the left shoulder of Furlong, and the Corvairs Nixon able to clear it out down the far side. Lazarev to Taylor. Taylor drops it for Chimino as Taylor unable to create a play through the neutral zone. And the pass too far for Evan Bueller, and it goes for an icing 3 minutes and 2 seconds into the third down the near side. A face-off from the right circle out to the left of Leo Lazarev. The Corvairs win the draw, but it's picked up by Hanlon as Green unable to do anything with it on the forward feed. Abraham wraps it around the boards. Ruskowski to Hanlon. Hanlon turns around looking for a play at the left side of the blue line. In for Taylor. Taylor with Green out on the high forecheck, and the shot by Chimino through traffic goes wide to the far side. Chimino, the pass too far for the Waterloo left winger, so Hanlon goes off on a change. Abraham to Forsland. Forsland down the right wing and loses the puck, but manages to hit Gazzola in the process. Gazzola working his way underneath, tries to go down the far side board, and Gazzola and Forsland still chipping away at one another on the far side before Forsland finally goes off. DeFrias picks it up inside his own line. The pass picked off by Peacock. Peacock underneath Brubaker, turns around in past the end line. Peacock still with it. Brubaker unable to get it out. And Malott forcing a near turnover there. The pass to Peacock, 2-on-1 breakaway Murphy. And Murphy put a move on Lazarev. Murphy able to get to the forehand, but in too close down the breakaway pass off the right side. Murphy trying to move the breakaway pass to a better angle to shoot from. The long shot by Blunt off the left pad of Lazarev. And Connor Murphy, by the time he got the puck to his forehand, I'm not sure if Lazarev got a piece of it or not, but the puck moving off into the near corner. Connor Murphy with a golden opportunity to put the Corvairs in the driver's seat, but the Corvairs still looking for the third goal. The Siskins as well trying to work themselves back into the series. Moran over center. The Siskins able to clear. Chimino goes deep to Mitch Atkins. And Atkins now falling down in behind the Caledonia net. Radford to the far side. Patton tries to chip it off the far side board. Cody Brown comes up with it. Gourlay through the neutral zone. Gourlay forced to turn around at the left side of the blue line after going 1-on-3. And Hurst and Connor Patton, the two players tied up on the far side. The puck coming out the near corner this time. And Lajeunesse able to clear before it's picked up by Radford. Taylor from the end line, the backhand pass to Martin. And it's taken away, and Patton stood up on a big upper body hit by Matt Martin. Taylor to Lajeunesse. Lajeunesse through the neutral zone ahead for Kearns. And Mitch Brown in behind him off the pass that was unable to be received. Jonathan to the back to Brown at the far board. Cosimo Fontana with an opportunity in the slot. He's knocked down, and it looks like a penalty coming up here. Nick Hurst skating to the box for a slash on Cosimo Fontana. And the Corvairs to the power play with 12:45 remaining, looking for the 3-2 goal. These two teams right back at it tomorrow afternoon. A very short turnaround for Waterloo and the Corvairs, as both teams have to travel back to Waterloo. The Siskins likely to have a little bit of an advantage in that one. They'll return to Waterloo tonight, whereas the Corvairs have to make a 10 o'clock a.m. team bus to make the game for 1:30 tomorrow. Peacock to the half wall. Murphy across to Blunt. Blunt beside the left circle. And Fontana the return pass from Kyler Nixon. Peacock in behind the net to Blunt, across to Nixon, side of the net. Connor Murphy. Fontana there, the shot, they score! Cosimo Fontana open on the near side, but it was Connor Murphy, I believe, that received the pass and fired it in along the ice on the near side. Peacock across the bench first, so it looks like he'll get credit. The Corvairs on the power play with 12:02 remaining. Peacock from Connor Murphy. Lazarev, very little chance there with 3 Corvairs parked directly in front of the net. Quick shot by Brown. It comes off the front of the right pad of Lazarev, but Lazarev still able to make a good save off the right pad. For a second there, the shot by Brown trickled off the front of his pad. No one there for the Corvairs. And Parker shoots the disc out of play on the near side. So at the 7:58 mark of the third, Jordan Peacock puts the Corvairs out in front, and now Forsland to the box for the Corvairs, and the Siskins will look to tie things up. The Corvairs looking to go to Waterloo tomorrow afternoon with a commanding 3-0 series lead, as the shot by Hanlon along the ice wide to the near corner. Hanlon to Taylor, Taylor to Cimino, Cimino along the ice. Bueller, the attempted deflection, the big save by Furlong at the far side. And Hanlon there as well with the second opportunity. The shot by the initial shot kicked out by Furlong at the far side. Hanlon trying to pick up the second rebound, and this time Hanlon making a shot from far out from the left side of the blue line. 1:35 remaining in the penalty to Forsland. Brown short-handed, chips it out down the far side, and Cimino, a great defensive play on the body check to knock Mitch Brown off the puck. Taylor to the half wall, far side to Hanlon, back to Taylor. Taylor mishandles the puck as Mitch Brown tries to slap it away from him at the top of the line. Cimino to the near corner. Ruskowski winds up. The shot past Nixon, Hanlon there, and they score. Danny Hanlon with the third Waterloo goal, tying things up for the Siskins with 10:16 remaining. Hanlon with his second of the game. Hanlon with his first with 15:39 remaining in the first on the power play to tie the game up. And this time, Waterloo on the power play off the Forsland penalty ties the game up with 10:17 remaining in the third.
Scored by number 27, Danny Hanlon. Assisted by number 9, Kristen Ruskowski. And 10, Evan Bueller. By the goal, 9:44. Waterloo's third goal, power play effort by...
At 9:44, the Siskins tie it up.
His second of the game from...
As mentioned earlier, the Siskins, if they can pull it out tonight, with a little bit of an advantage going into the afternoon contest tomorrow, the Siskins will return to Waterloo after tonight's game. The Corvairs with a morning bus to catch. A short turnaround for both teams. In the other series, the Leamington Flyers at last check with a 2-0 lead over the St. Catharines Falcons. Murphy and Gazzola on the draw. Murphy wins it. The shot by Abraham took a tricky bounce in front Peacock's side of the net may have had an opportunity, but the shot by Abraham nearly resulting in an opportunity for the Caledonia fourth goal. Peacock, the shot off the end board. And Malott plays it up and out. Abraham from the neutral zone banks it off the far board, and it's picked up by Matt Martin of the Siskins. Brown, Malott directly in front of the net. The shot by Brown along the line, and Malott looking to tip it in at the top of the paint. Moran, side of the net. Cody Brown looking for a deflection as Nick Hurst plays it around the near board for Martin. The puck deflecting off the stick of Gorley and just into the Waterloo bench. The face-off from neutral ice just outside the Waterloo line. The next game in the St. Catharines Leamington series tomorrow night in Leamington, a 7:10 p.m. start. And the high errant pass out of play by DeFrias. .8:30 to go in regulation time. The Arc Pro presentation of game number 3. The shot by Cody Brown high up over top the Waterloo net. Gourlay's side of the net. Carry down the far wall. Can't make a play to clear the puck. And it's finally cleared, and Nixon back to play it up the near side wall. DeFrias, a pass up the boards. Bodner the turnover, or that's Thomas Carey, excuse me. And Gourlay fires a shot wide and into the far corner. Sheik picks it up. He throws a long bouncing pass through the neutral zone with no one there for the Siskins. Adkins forcing a turnover. So no one there to receive the pass, but Mitch Adkins went down the right wing, got himself to the puck first in the near corner, and the centering pass, Mitch Adkins looking for someone in front to give the Siskins the lead. Adkins, the ex-Brantford 99er, the Siskins acquiring him for their playoff run, and Adkins playing dividends as the Siskins winning their first conference championship in 20 years. Ma comes up with it out of the scrum, plays it up for Hanlon at the far sidewall. Hanlon the chip ahead, Bueller, Ruskowski. Ruskowski opened down the slot, but the pass ending up in behind the Caledonia net. Hanlon up the far side for Bueller, and Bueller offside at the far left side of the blue line as Bueller is knocked off the puck by Jamie Forsland. Forsland, the earlier penalty, proving costly as Waterloo able to tie the game up on the power play. Danny Hanlon with his second goal of the game on the power play at 9:44. Peacock wins the draw with a back pass. Moran up the wall. Kearns to Hurst. Hurst over to Martin, and Martin knocked off the puck by Jordan Peacock. Moran bounces a pass into the far corner. Martin picks it up, He slides a pass to the far wall inside his own line to Taylor. And the Corvairs, Ratchford, breaks up the play and sends the disc into the near corner. Ratchford throws it down the far side. Hurst, the Waterloo defender, attempts to bring it out the near corner. Lajeunesse has it taken away by Moran, and Martin backhands it down the far side, just out on the right-hand side of the blue line. Martin around Ratchford, and the shot by Martin, Furlong out to challenge at the far side, and he hangs on to make the save with 5:12 remaining in the third period. The Corvairs in the 2-0 series lead, and the game all tied up in game number 3 with the possibility of overtime. The two teams playing in Waterloo tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. Brown to the opposite side, and Blunt fires it around the board on the near corner, and the puck carries all the way in to the near side. The turnaround quick shot by Patton off the top of the pads of Lazarev, and the shot from long out, Lazarev covering up at the top of his crease. Nixon scoring the first goal of the game at the 5:23 mark of the first period. Danny Hanlon tying things up on the power play at the 15:39 mark on the power play, assisted by Ryan Taylor. And at the intermission, Lajeunesse with the go-ahead goal, a turnover through the neutral zone as Connor Murphy knocked down. Evan Bueller trying to take it the other way quickly. And now the Corvairs go end to end. Green the shot. Green using Chimino as a screen. Chimino doesn't like it. The quick shot by Green into the logo on the sweater of Lazarev. The Corvairs tying things up. The only goal of the second coming off the stick of Spencer Gourlay off the Kyler Nixon assist at the 18:19 mark. And then it was the Corvairs taking the lead on the Jordan Peacock goal before Danny Hanlon got his second at the 9:44 mark to move the Siskins back into a tie. Forsland hitting Rizkowski hard on the near sideboard. And Cody Brown passes off to his right. The Corvairs trying to go in 2-on-2, but the puck now tied up in behind the Waterloo net as Bueller and Hanlon get back for the Siskins. Forsland to Abraham. Forsland the pass over two lines for Gourlay, and Gourlay unable to do anything with it. And everyone on this side ducking, myself included, as the puck comes dangerously close on the clear out to our broadcast location. The puck about 6 seats down from me. Even I flinch slightly on the left-hand side. Brown and Gazzola take the draw from the left circle Waterloo zone. Brown wins the draw to Nixon, and the long shot by Nixon with Cody Brown looking for a rebound, and Lazarev able to make yet another big save at the top of the crease. Leo Lazarev keeping his team in it despite the Siskins being outshot in all 3 games. Caledonia with the shots on goal advantage through 2 periods of play at 32-19. Brubaker, the pass picked off by Cody Brown, the back pass. Connor Bodner now with it for the Siskins. Inside 3 minutes, Nixon plays it through center to Brown. Gourlay has to turn around as 4 men back for the Siskins. Patton behind the net, Gazzola plays it up the boards, and the Siskins able to clear on the clear out around Ryan Blunt. Bodner throwing it down the far side. Nixon with speed over the left side. Nixon tied up on the near corner, checked by Chamin. Fontana the shot, he scores! Cosimo Fontana on the turnover, wide open in the slot. The puck coming off the left side. Fontana finding himself wide open in front of the net. It appeared like Fontana fanned a little bit on the shot along the ice, but he got enough on it to get the Caledonia 4th goal with 2:04 to go. Cosimo Fontana gives the Corvairs the lead. Hurst to the far side to Martin. Jonathan and Mitch Brown drawing their first assists on the night. Furlong hanging on with 1:43 to go. So at the 17:56 mark, trying to do math backwards as Fontana scored with 2:04 to go. Fans, there's 11 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the game in St. Catharines. The Leamington Flyers with a 2-1 lead over the St. Catharines Falcons. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get you a final in that one. I was hoping to give you a final before we went off the air, but that's as close as we can get as the 2 teams take a breather. So be sure to check www.GOJHL.ca. In there on the scoreboard section, that's where you'll find the final score of tonight's Leamington St. Catharines game. The Leamington Flyers, as Ruskowski shot, and they score. The Waterloo Siskins come right back on the Ruskowski point shot off the right side, and Bueller tipping it in. The Siskin fans going delirious with 1:39 to go. Fontana scoring with 2:04 to go. And Bueller replying with the tip in on the near side off the point shot by Ruskowski.
How much you put out in salaries in a year?
Nixon to Peacock. Down deep, Peacock on the backhand. Blunt mishandling the pass at the right side of the blue line. Bueller now getting credit with an assist. With 1:39 to go, the Siskins tying things up. So I guess Ruskowski got the credit for the goal. Hard to hear with all the cheering from Waterloo fans. Gourlay to Patton on the near side. Gourlay centering pass, Cody Brown, and what a save by Lazarev. Lazarev coming out to challenge the Cody Brown shot. Brown with the quick wrister open on the forehand. And Lazarev skating from his own goal line, 3 steps out to challenge Brown. Gourlay on the boards to Blunt. Nixon, the high shot just wide to the far side. Gourlay on the end line, the turnaround pass, what a save! Another massive save by Lazarev. Lazarev sticking out the right pad. Gourlay coming from behind the net on the far side to fire a wrist shot. Inside 30 seconds now. Patton plays it in deep. Centering pass, Blunt off the right side of the blue line. Blunt taking a chance. Gourlay turning around, and Parker able to get enough of him to knock him offside. Nixon, the shot wide of the net to the near corner this time. 3 seconds to go, one last chance for Kearns, but the buzzer goes, and we go to overtime in game number 3 with the Corvairs and Siskins tied at 4. The Corvairs in the 2-0 series lead. Goals in the third, Fontana with 2:04 remaining in the third to get the 4th Caledonia goal, and Buehler tying things up. Just 25 seconds later, Buehler with 1:39 to go, although he drew the assist, so I'm thinking Ryskowski got credit off the right side of the blue line. And we go to overtime at the end of regulation in game number 3 of the Sutherland Cup Semi-Final with the Corvairs in a 2-0 series lead. It's the Caledonia Corvairs 4 and the Waterloo Siskins 4. End of regulation. We're going to overtime. We're just about set for overtime. The two teams exchanging 2 goals apiece in the third. The Corvairs and Siskins. The Corvairs with a 2-0 series lead, but the Siskins fighting hard as they're set to return home tomorrow for a 1:30 game. Game number 4 at the Waterloo Rec Complex. Peacock scoring in the third. Danny Hanlon replying with his second. Cosimo Fontana, the goal that looked at the time to be the game winner, but 25 seconds later, Evan Buehler coming back with the goal along the near side to tie things up for the Siskins. So the Siskins will either go home trailing 2-1 with a victory tonight, or in a big hole as Connor Murphy wins the opening draw of overtime. The Corvairs looking to take a 3-0 series lead. Blunt to Murphy, Peacock behind him, 2-1, the shot, they score! Jordan Peacock on the wrist shot, on the drop pass by Connor Murphy, and just 14 seconds into the overtime, the Caledonia Corvairs take the 3-0 series lead. Jordan Peacock with the only shot of overtime, the only shot he would need, the back pass from Connor Murphy, and the Corvairs with the 3-0 series lead. Game number 4 tomorrow in Waterloo. Danny Hanlon with 2 goals for the Siskins. Buehler with the tying goal with 1:39 remaining. The Siskins tying the game at 4 after regulation, but it was Jordan Peacock with the only shot he would need, the wrist shot on the drop pass from Connor Murphy. And 14 seconds into the overtime in game number 3, the Corvairs win it by a final score of 5-4. For the Caledonia Corvairs Hockey Club, I'm John Molson. Tomorrow's game 4 is in the afternoon, 1:30 p.m. at the Waterloo Rec Complex. Please join ArcPro for our next presentation, Game 5, if necessary, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. But if the Corvairs win it tomorrow, the next time you'll see a Caledonia home game here from the HCCC will be in the Sutherland Cup final against either the St. Catharines Falcons or the Leamington Flyers. Again, tonight's final score on the overtime winner by Jordan Peacock, just 14 seconds in on the wrist shot to the far side. The Corvairs win it and take a 3-0 series lead over the Waterloo Siskins. So remember, tomorrow's away game, not on our regular network. Game 5, if necessary, Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So join us for Game 5 if we have it on the Wednesday night. Otherwise, check GOJHL.ca for all your up-to-date scores and information. The information on tomorrow afternoon's game will be up there. Tonight's final score, the Corvairs 5, the Siskins 4. We'll see you either Game 5 Wednesday night, if necessary, or for Game 1 of the Sutherland Cup final. Good night from the HCCC in Caledonia, Ontario.